Good morning, Support Northern Virginia Business. I'm here with Steve McKay, owner manager of School of Rock in Alexandria. And Steve and I have had to reschedule a few times because of the beauty of small business ownership. I know last week you had to work out some things with some employees, and that happens. So, it's always putting out fires as part of small business. Um, but anyway, Steve, thank you for your time this morning. And why don't you tell me a little bit about how you started the School of Rock and how you got into it?
Well, thanks, Lou, and hello, everybody. I really appreciate the support you're bringing to Northern Virginia, Alexandria. Um, so, how did I get in School of Rock? Well, I've been in IT for 30 years, been in bands another 40 years. So I'm starting to show my age. And through bands, you learn that you're not only a musician, you're marketing the band, you're managing the band, you're putting on events. Planning. So I was looking at everything I do in a band and everything I do in like IT management. And I'm like, I can run a small business. So when I started researching, and anyone can do this if they have a 401k, is you can take 401k, part of your 401k, roll it into a franchise or an S corp, and use that money tax-free, penalty-free towards starting your own business.
Beautiful.
And right now, a lot of people are at that crossroads. What am I going to do? So I always like to talk about that because you think your dream isn't achievable, do a little research. And I believe you can find that your dreams are achievable. So this has been a dream all my life. I have a music school, help the community, and give kids a place to rehearse and just get together, socialize. Socializing is so big, especially right now. So we're doing it in the safest possible way with hand cleaning, disinfecting. When we do have groups, they're small groups separated between partitions. Everyone has mask on, even the vocalists. And vocalists are put behind plexiglass. So we're doing our absolute best. The community is so supportive. If they're not into the in-school or groups, we have online options. And with our online options, we have our own books and we have our own mobile app. So that makes the whole experience even better, that we can assign exercises. We can work with them on the app, in the virtual lesson, or in school lessons. So many options, and our community base has been so supportive. Not one complaint. A few instructors have had to, Steve, can I teach remote? I'm just not comfortable right now. Absolutely, you can teach remote. And the students who can do remote learning via Zoom have been very accepting. Others who couldn't quite do it for whatever reason, we're giving them makeup lessons or teaming them with another instructor. So just taking a lot of hits, and you just roll with the punches and figure out options. And the community's been really supportive. They know we're doing their very best to keep everyone safe. At the same time, give you options if you want your kids socialized or in school, living life as safe as possible.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. I mean, I think that's a great point. First off, yeah, like if you have this dream of owning a small business, this is the time when a lot of people are sort of reimagining and re-envisioning how their life is going to go in the future, right? And this is, like, perfect word, crossroads, right? And if you're kind of there and you've always been interested in entrepreneurship, I think that's great advice. Like, look at your 401k. Can you roll that into a franchise or something like that? So when did you actually pull the trigger? Was this year, or have you been in business a while?
It's been we opened May of 2019.
Okay.
We've been open, a year and 9-10 months. We went from, so we opened, it took me about a year to find a location, build it out, get the school going. So that was a difficult time. But from the day we opened to when COVID hit, we were at 130 students. Amazing. In 9 months, we jumped to 130 students. everyone was just so overjoyed. Unfortunately, we had to shut down and go fully remote at almost a drop of the hat. And School Rock's all about putting kids in groups together. That's what it really, really means. They learn faster, socializing, teamwork. Oh, I better learn my part because my band is depending on me. So just
pressure, like peer pressure, but good peer pressure. Yeah.
Right. So we being all about groups, I don't think School of Rock as a franchise has ever even considered doing remote learning, which many people do remote. But within a week, we had a strong curriculum, all the documentation to help staff, students, and management on how to make this work. And for the most part, everyone was very accepting. Kids are zoomed out, but instead of theory, we're like, what song do you want to learn? So we took that approach and teach them a song. So School Rock's all about song first, kind of reverse engineering the way music lessons are given. So what song do you want to learn? All right, let's learn those chords. So now they're like, wow, I can kind of play the chorus of this song I love. Then we sneak in the theory behind it. So it's not theory, learn a song. It's learn the basics of a song. We sneak in that theory and continue building upon that song. So really that's a great approach.
That's so smart. And I was actually talking about this with the executive director of Vienna Jammers yesterday about how they do that too, of like, they're just practical application. And then you can, like you said, they're more receptive to understanding the why and the theory, right? The intellectual part of that. And I think it's a great model for every teacher, right? Not just music, is like, have the kids do something and then sneak in the why behind it. Like, I remember, did you watch that show, The Wire? Did you see that show?
No.
Well, he had tricked the kids who didn't care about math, but he taught them something they liked, which was playing dice, right? They were interested in, and then he taught them probability through that. And they were like, oh, this can help me become a better dice player. So now I want to learn it, so it's sort of the same thing,
Right.
Very cool. So you have 130 students, which is fantastic. How did you market yourself in the beginning? Is it just all word of mouth? Did you do some sort of grand opening?
Yeah, so we did, of course, Alexandria Chamber of Commerce, very big. They helped us with the grand opening, got the mayor down there. Instead of cutting a ribbon, we smashed a guitar. And even
2000 style, huh?
I took a couple whacks at it and then gave it to the mayor. He took a couple whacks at it. So that was fun.
Awesome.
But going to local markets with a vendor tent, just getting out in the community, spend a little extra money. If anyone's seen the School Rock van, lettering there, just traveling to different events, meeting people. School Rock is a franchise, helped point out where the good venues are, or not music venues, but avenues to market the school. And that was really helpful. And while I bring up, we are a franchise, but every School Rock is locally owned, locally staffed. So you are supporting a small business and local staff members.
Absolutely. That's a great point. It's not a corporation. It's Steve McKay, the owner, who
right.
I'm sure you pay your royalty to the franchise, but it is your small business, right? And
right.
For people who aren't in a franchise, I own a franchise too, a catering franchise. They basically provide you the system. That's what you're buying, is like a proven marketing proven operational systems. But yeah, you're running it. You're the operator. You're marketing it. It is your small business.
Right.
So that's a great point. But did you, what I was going to ask, kind of lost my train of thought on that franchise thing, was, referrals. Do you have a good referral program? Like, because it seems like that would be, if one kid because in Vienna Jammers, Dave was mentioning to me, like, they don't really advertise, but what they notice is if a kid begins in a new school, they'll get like 2 or 3 kids from that same school all of a sudden. Do you have any active referral programs for current students?
Yeah, we have the current is $50 off your music plan, your next
Mhm.
month music plan, and
Mhm.
$50 off your referrals plan. So if you bring somebody in, you get $50 off next month, and they
Yeah.
get $50 off their sign up fee.
Very cool.
We're also running. This goes till December 31st. We're running 35% off all of our summer camps. If you buy it online, there's a camp code is camp 35. It's on our website and our flyers.
Okay.
Seems a little early to go summer camps, but you can let them know Christmas time. Hey, you're going to summer camp. We have some little Christmas cards that we send them as well. Little stocking stuffers to say, hey, you're going to camp. Now, these are uncertain times. So do you want to spend this kind of money for a 5-day camp? So what we're offering is a full refund up to 14 days of the camp. So that, gives you a little less anxiety buying a 5-day camp so far out. But we'll guarantee that through the franchise.
Awesome. No, that's a great deal. And how are you? What's your current student roster? So you said you're at 130. What happened to your business in COVID? Where are you now?
Well, 130 was just amazing numbers, and COVID dropped us down to about high 60s. So we took a big hit.
Yeah.
They slowly started rolling back with the remote programs, and we continue to grow with new students as well. So I believe we're now at back up to about 110, 115.
Okay.
So a good bounce back. Took a while, but we're not at, our goal is to get back at that 130 number. And we have plenty of space. If you haven't been to the school, we have plenty of space to keep growing on that. So my goal is 150 and more.
Okay. Were you able to, did you qualify for any PPP with that? I would assume that was a big business drop there. Were you able to get any grants, any government help or?
Yeah, with the PPP was very helpful with rent. We could easily show, that it was difficult to pay rent with a huge loss of revenue. It affected the instructors, though I did my best to for both the students and staff. Hey, do you want to do a master class on how to set up a PA? So it gave the instructors extra hours, gave the students more things to view online and more curriculum ideas. So did my best to keep staff, but of course their hours were greatly reduced.
Of course.
And now we hear the awesome news that another round of PPP should be approved today. We don't
looking
know
good
specifics, but all as well as kind of related, but save our stages. So all these venues, restaurants, they are really struggling. Rent doesn't go away. And these are large venues that are still paying taxes, still paying rent, waiting for this next stimulus. So we're looking at that can save a lot of our famous venues. It's great news. So we'll learn more about that this week.
Yeah.
Of course, there's for other struggling businesses, there's also SBA loans, a very good rate. Like you can get a decent loan for X amount of money and have 20, 30 years to pay it off. So
right.
There's a lot of great options out there.
Cool, man. And then, so if there's anyone out there now, maybe they don't want to wait till summer camp, but they're going, hey, my New Year's resolution, I've always wanted to learn guitar or something like that. Do you have any gyms, any January specials, get people in the door kind of thing?
Right now, January is just standard. We do, what I'll do is, if you mention this podcast, we can take off your registration fee. So save you $50.
Okay. Hey, that's something, right? I mean,
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Normally that registration fee comes with your book, access to our mobile app. Our mobile app has 1,000 songs. dozens and dozens, probably thousands of exercises as well, and a t-shirt. But yeah, we can waive that to get you in the door and provide you either online or in-school options.
Very cool. And so the kids, when they start, they're paired up with other kids. Is that right? And then they sort of grow and learn together, and then they start to play. So, I mean, how long from like day one are they actually playing a song together with other kids?
Yeah, depending on the age. So age 6 and 7, we had a rookies program. But right now that's all remote. So they're learning a lot of theory-based games, music activities. Our Rock 101 is age 8 to 13. We like to put them in bands in day one. So they'll get a group one day, and typically on another day, a one-on-one lesson. So in the group, they're rehearsing what they're learning during their lesson. But we can get them pretty much started day 1 or 2 on like a very simplified form of, say, Wild Thing by the Trogs, Three Little Birds by Bob Marley. Not overly simplified, but give them just the basics. And like, wow, like I said before, wow, I'm playing in a band, and I just started. And then they go back to their lesson, and they're learning the theory behind it. And what's genius about this whole thing is they're learning songs that mom and dad grew up with. So now mom and dad are like, wow, it's not something they've never heard of. So yes, it just brings it all together.
Very cool. Yeah, I can remember as a young musician or drummer. I mean, all the drummer jokes, right? But we played "Sunshine of Your Love" probably 100 times in my garage, and I just remember, I still remember that, right? It was like such a great experience where you actually, as a team, like you mentioned, are playing something, and like, you're doing it. Like you're not just practicing anymore. You're actually performing, and you kind of get that feeling of the magic of music, So I think that's really cool.
Right. And being a safe environment, being the garage band or a basement band, you're getting slack from the neighbors and hopefully not the police, and just being a good, safe environment with mentors. And what I find so amazing is seeing a guitar player mentor the new student that comes in, and not being told to mentor them. It's just starting to come natural. So, just see the mentoring of each of the students for one another. Really no animosity. When you get older and in bands, there can be egos, but not at this level. And so we're teaching them to work together, stagecraft as well. And by the time we do put them on stage, they've probably rehearsed in front of parents, other students. So we're not just like throwing them on stage. Just, if you've driven by School of Rock, we have the big atrium out front. So we have small shows in there just to get them ready once we put them on stage in a local venue.
Beautiful, man. Well, I think it's crazy. I think what you're doing is great. I'm actually very happy to hear that you're close to where you were before COVID, because I think a lot of people think like, oh man, what are these businesses going to do? But it's been a testament to you and your business that you've pivoted, you've regrown, and you're almost back to where you were before the pandemic, which to me means that when we come out of the pandemic, your business is going to be just that much stronger.
Yeah, I believe so. And the community's just been so supportive. Now, as we see another wave, I have to be proactive and prepared. Starting to see some parents, can we maybe do remote for next couple we especially after returning from holidays and seeing family. So we're being proactive, and we believe if we had to go remote again, people would be more accepting of it because they've had a few remote classes. They've had a few remote groups and workshops. And we're going to plan some open mics as well. So for the kids, as that goes well, we're going to do some online mics for the community as well. So trying to bring the community in.
What's the best way to keep up with all things School of Rock Alexandria? Do you have a Facebook? Do you have Twitter? Are you updating your website? I mean, where is this information kept?
Yeah, so our website is a great place. Go on the website, alexandria.schoolofrock.com. You can see all of our services. You can check out our camps. And on the right side, you can sign up for a free trial lesson. So everybody gets a free trial lesson. You get to check out the school, meet some instructors, learn more about our programs. If you're there during a group, you can peek in on, watch a rehearsal group. And of course, Facebook, School of Rock Alexandria. Same thing with Twitter and Instagram, School of Rock Alexandria.
Beautiful. All right, Steve. Well, I think I have a referral for you. My neighbor's looking for drum lessons, so I'll definitely send them your info after this. But thank you so much for your time. I wish you the best in 2021. Can't get worse than 2020. So, and thank you for all your advice for all the small business owners and would-be future entrepreneurs. Again, go for your dreams. Right. This is the year to reinvent yourself and just do it.
Right. It's a perfect time. A new chapter in life is coming in a week and a half. So think of it that way. That's what we're telling all the students. If you got through 2020, everything else is going to be just a cakewalk. So look at it positive way.
I agree. Thank you, sir. Hold on one second. I'm going to just hit